Alright, quick update here. Got the track in. Got the tortoises in. They're not wired up yet because I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to control them. Well, I mean, I know you got to control them, but I mean, with the control panels, they're not really set up for it. So we got the lights going. We got our little flashing light there on top of the Vata tower. We got the lights on here. Yeah, I don't know how well things will focus, but the light shining down inside the loading docks. Yeah, not too bad. And along here, and I got, like I said, these tortoises are in. I just got to hook up the switches to run them. There's a little helper. Well, you got some cars in the building. Along here, and there's the office. And back to the area. Yeah. Definitely caused some conversation about this, but like I said, it's not perfect, but it's... And I have some ideas. I might have an idea what to do in here, but for now, I just need to get working. There's the lights inside there. Folks in the lunchroom. Oh my, it even looks like we got some equipment here ready to work on that crossing. Jeez, they didn't waste any time. Alright, so that's where we are right now. At least the track is in, it's all powered. All the lights that I have thus far are all hooked up. So, time to do some more work. Okay, try some night scenes. I'm not sure how well this will work. That's the unloading area there by near the porta potty. By the pellet facility. There's just a little generic left-on light inside the one building. That's gonna be dark. Oh my gosh, it's so dark. Don't know what's gonna try to focus. Yeah, there it goes. That's in the loading facility. And I'm probably gonna add some more external lights. Now that I got these buildings set. There's that. Spotlight on a loading dock, and then inside the lunchroom, which I don't know I'll be able to get really good focus on. Yeah, come on, focus on that guy. Oop. Thought I had it there for a second. There's a guy ordering, looking for something to eat, so, I need a better camera. Let's hop down to the other building, see how they look in the dock. Folks working late. A little loading area there, and we'll zoom over to here, and I don't know if it'll show well inside the building or not. Now they got cars sitting in there, probably won't. Yeah. Alright, well, we tried. Looks pretty interesting from out here, though. Camera just can't pick it up all that well. And here's the dock facility. Along here. Not bad, looks good. Again, I can tell I need a bunch more external lights to get added here, but we'll work on that. We'll get that going. So there we go. Again, I don't know, since it's so dark down here, if an overall view will do anything other than let you see some spots of light. Okay, hey. At least we're getting somewhere. Alright, don't panic. We haven't regressed. Just figured I'd show a short clip here on another mistake. This is hilarious. Alright, so I was over in the layout, and I was installing this little building. And, you know, I had the lead in there for the light out of the room there in the front, which is way too dark. You can't see anything. And I figured, well, let's take the drill, and I'll put it in there, and then I'll drill a hole. It's how easy. Yeah, well, guess what? I got caught up in the drill bit. Ripped the wires right out. So, yeah, that was a great maneuver. So, not to be beaten by the layout, what I did was I drilled a hole in the top there. Might be hard to see because it's so darn dark, but I just drilled a hole, stuck a Pico LED in, and said, whatever happens, happens. Because I couldn't adjust it or anything like that. Tried to place it as much as I could. So I got that in there, and lo and behold, figured I'd try it back here on the bench because I soldered some nice long leads to it. And, yay, it works. Good enough. Again, just a little light just to show something there in that building. So, alright, so that's that. So be careful with your drill bits when you're drilling holes. And then another thing I'm doing, I'm deciding I'm probably going to try to put this stack in. And thanks to Mr. James Edwards, who indicated that there would be a stack, and it would be at this end of the building, because when I had it sitting there, he said you actually have that placed right. So that's because I'm such a stack expert. So what I did, just for fun, I remembered these. Oh, James said you need some trunking. I think he called it. I would have called it ducting, but then what the hell do I know? These were actually in the kit, the Valley Cement kit. I think they weren't used. I think for the Medusa cement kit, they might have gone up from the top of the unloading shed up to the top of the silos. But I had them, and it looked cool, so I kept them. So what I did, I made one little, well, actually two little squares, and then I carefully cut a hole in the side of the stack and put it in there and glued it in. I don't think I'll be able to see it, but it's glued through up in there. Okay. And then I set it up. I said, yeah, I'll paint it grimy black, and I'll just set it right against the building like that. Look at that. Look at me. I'm such an expert. Then I thought, well, you know, that doesn't look... I have no idea if that's right. No idea. It probably wouldn't be that high. Again, what do I know? So I had some piece of relatively good-sized tubing, so I said, hey, here's what I'll do. Being the slick model railroader that I am, I'll put another one down there at the bottom, because that'll look really cool. It'll look like I know what I'm doing. So that way, what I figure is when they're doing the Heimlich maneuver, they use the top one. When they're doing the Corbinite maneuver, they use the bottom one. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to paint those up, and then I'm just going to set it right next to this building like this. And then I'm going to try to see if I can get the red LEDs added with a flasher. Probably use a 555 timer circuit. Bring all the wires down and try to see if I can get that done too. So that is that. So just a little brief. Be careful when you're drilling holes for your wires. And thanks to Mr. James Edwards for info on the smokestack. Again, I have no idea if it's right, but that's what I'm doing. Alright, just to show this for those that may have an interest. This is my breadboarded circuit for the flashing LEDs I'm going to put in the top of the smokestack. And I didn't come up with this myself. Obviously, I went online and did a couple calcs based on the basic circuit and came up with what I want. I did try initially, because I do have, again, from Evan Designs, red LED flash. They were a little bit too fast. And then I did get some of these slow flash red, kind of like a warning LED. These work fine, but in fact these are what I use on top of the water tower on the one building. The problem is when you put three of them together, they get out of sync, and it just looked, it was really annoying. So I figured, alright, so let me try, you know, come up with a 555 circuit and try it. And here's, you can see how they're flashing. Now these aren't red, obviously, but I wanted to try it just to kind of prove it would work. So I had just some chip LEDs. I'll probably go with nano LEDs for the actual red ones. But I wanted to try it and see if they all flash the same, and they do. And I like the flash rate. I actually, being the geek that I am, looked at a video that I have of a train going by the Conemaugh power plant at night, and or late evening, and the smokestack lights are flashing, and I kind of try to count how long they flash, and the ones that are flashing here is about right. It looked right to me. So I'm gonna have to order some of the red nano LEDs. I don't have any. And then what I'll do is I'll take this breadboard circuit and I'll probably put it on this strip board, because you got to physically do things. You know, it's one thing to see a circuit or have it on the breadboard, and then now you got to make it reality. So I can work on that. And then what I think I'll do in the tippy top of that, and then since it's already together, and if I was really going to do this smartly, I would have put the LEDs in before I glued the damn smokestack together. But I might even bring them out the top or do something, because I got to be careful. I don't have a lot of access. Maybe bring them out, get them glued. I'm going to use 3 of them. Glue them around there, bring the wires all the way down through the smokestack. And then I'll have a place, when I do this, on the actual circuit to bring those leads into. And then a place to bring the 12 volts into. So again, this is running off 12 volts. It's a 555. I'm using a 100 microfarad capacitor here. This, I don't know if I need this, but it's there. It's a 1K resistor. That's off pin 3, which is the output. So that's actually the current limiting resistor for LEDs. Because I did do it with just regular red LEDs, and it works fine as well. But what really controls the flashing are the R1 and R2. I'm going to use 4.7K for the R1. And just in my box, I had a 4.7, 4.7, and a 7.5K. So I could have got like 1.2 meg or something like that. But I don't have any one of those, so I'm going to use 2 of these in series. And then make it all up. And that's the flash rate. So, alright, so more to come on that when I get everything in and get it installed, and we'll see how it actually looks in over on the layout. Okay, I'll quickly show you. Here's what I mean by the out of sync. These are the slow flash LEDs from Evan Designs, the one that I used on top of the tower. And I put 3 of them together, really hoping that I could just hook up 3 of these and be done. Although they wouldn't have worked anyway, because they won't fit through the outside of the smokestack when you drill a hole. But anyway, so you've turned these on. They start off okay. But you'll notice as time goes by, they start to get out of sync, and I think that would just drive people crazy. At least the ones I saw on top of a real smokestack, they all kind of blinked at the same rate and together. And you can see over time these just start to drift further and further. It just, oh my God, it'd just be. I think if I had these on there, it'd be more of a distraction as opposed to kind of a nice effect. And probably at the end of a session, if you had the lights off, someone would want to smack someone in the head. So that's not going to work. And the same thing happened with the smaller flash ones as well. They kind of got out of sequence. So individually, great. 3 together, probably not going to do what I wanted to do. So that's why I'm going with the 555 circuit, which that output pulse seems to flash them all at the same time, and it looks a lot better to me. So tried this, didn't work, so that's why we went with the other circuit. Alrighty, I think I'll wrap this one up and get it posted. Just figured I'd do one last little segment here on what I did to get this one crossover powered up. This is by no means perfect, but what I did was basically here at Eugene East, I was able to borrow the DPDT switch and the 2 LEDs and move them over here. This is that crossover there that goes back to the industrial track. Now, since these are reverse engraved, and I can't do that, well, I did learn that drilling them is actually pretty easy. That's not bad. So that's why I was able to drill and place the LEDs and the switch in there, and now it works fine. So now at least we can control it from here, You know, as opposed to having, you know, it's pretty far back there trying to reach. So I figured at least for now, this will be okay. It's not perfect, doesn't look great. I used black drafting tape to add the line in there. I think at some point, especially when I get the other changes done over here, which I think I'm also going to be able to use all the things here, because basically this will move down a little bit. I can use this or this for another. Anyway, I can make this work, but I think at some point, if I want to keep this look, I'm going to have to get a new control panel. I don't know. I'm not worried about it at the moment, but because I hate the way it looks even now with that, and then, you know, there'll be holes on it, and bleh, I don't like it. So for now, we can at least operate that turnout. Now the new one at the other end of the industrial track, little different situation. Again, that's the new one that was put in. I can wire it back easily enough to this control panel. It would want to sit right in here again, which I could do, but unlike Eugene East and Eugene West, I don't have any extras, so I'm going to keep all this. Basically, I'm adding to this. I'm not really taking away and modifying much. So I'd have to do something here. I don't have a spare terminal block with the resistors for the LEDs. I mean, I can still do it, not a huge deal. I might just eventually just bring the power over, just put a toggle here, get 12 volts to it so I can throw the turnout. Yeah, it won't be exactly the same, but again, at some point, because a lot of changes are going to be down here with the coal yard and the engine facility, I probably can drop these out, because these were there to keep the power off when that area was a diesel service area, because we didn't want, you know, 15 sound-equipped locomotives blasting on all at once. So we kept these off when we were storing locomotives. But now, since this area here most likely is going to be an industrial area, either an industry, a transfer area, or something, I might be able to remove those. And again, so that will leave big holes, and I think at some point I'll have to redo this control panel as well. So, alright, so that's that. I'm going to slap this baby on the butt and get it posted, because I have to travel again for work. And I'm going to be gone several days. So here we go again. So hopefully this weekend, what I may get back to once I get home is working on, despite the bullet, and do some of the reconfiguration here. Yeah, basically this turnout's got to come out. It gets turned to a right hand, catches the ladder, that continues on. This continues down, and eventually ties into the yard lead, which then does come in. This turnout basically has to move down, which gives access to the main line, but we add the yard lead that's going to run all the way out there. It's not perfect, but it'll be a lot longer yard lead for switching without coming onto the main line. I can get all that done and not really upset the main line too much. Then the next big step, if I move my planning notebook, is to get this additional crossover in. Again, like I said, this gives you track 1 to 2. This will give us 2 to 1, so you can access either the north or south yard from either track. So that's got to come. But this turnout, this crossover, is going to come from Pittsfield. So I'll have to rip and tear that up, and that really will take the main line down. So, alright. Enough babbling. Let me get this posted. So I'm going to be gone several days again, so here we go. That darn work rears its ugly head. But I'll get back to work this weekend and hopefully get some more progress and be able to, keep putting some updates up. They might slow down a little bit just because with work now I won't be having as much time to be down here. But I do want to concentrate on it over the winter and get as much of this done as possible. So, alright, we'll get this up, and then other updates coming as soon as I get some more progress.